Good morning and welcome to today's live stream for QuantWheel. We have only me today, so welcome if you're joining. The goal of this live stream is to help you set up your QuantWheel system. So if you have any questions, just please shoot them down below in the chat and we'll get started today. I plan today to show you some of the new updates we've made for QuantWheel with GEX and TradingView. So if you are new here, this is something that's coming up in the next few days, or perhaps launching next week. Some of the users are already testing and loving it. And yeah, we'll try to go through some of the news with SMH. I think a lot of the semiconductor stocks are crashing, and we'll try to find some good trades. All right, maybe I can start sharing my screen and just share this in Discord. We are going live and sharing the live stream link. Okay. Thank you all for great suggestions about GEX. We are improving it constantly, and yeah, thank you also for nice words about it being simple. So, all right, first I wanted to just share, I'll just go ahead with my entire screen and I'll just quickly share the new version of GEX with TradingView. I don't think you will see this anywhere else. This is a live GEX updating every single minute from QuantWheel onto your TradingView desktop. This is your account. You have your own indicators here live. And just to share you how can you profit from this, yesterday I was doing some day trading on Nike. I've noticed that this flip point and put wall call wall were the same yesterday. So I saw Nike going touching this flip point and bought some calls and sold some cash secure puts, and surely enough, Nike did have a run up throughout the day after that and made 50% on my calls. That was a nice gain, and I think I already sold or closed my cash secure puts. So this flip point is also sometimes a very good support zone that I like to see the bounces from. Also, if it kind of matches the put wall, it reinforces that as well. There's a strong pressure or buying happening when the price drops below that level. So you can see here it dropped below the level, but it doesn't mean it invalidates the level. It's just the buying pressure sometimes comes during that flip. So yeah, just because you go through the level doesn't mean it's confirmed. That's one thing. I think Nike is still a very, very interesting play. There has been rotation happening, and I think you can call this a bullish divergence. So price is making lower lows, but the RSI is making higher lows. So Nike is a very interesting thing here, and we have a gap in this zone. Put wall, call wall flips are here, and we might be in some range before, but I do expect to see this gap filled in the next month or so. So Nike is very interesting to me. I honestly don't know much about the news in the semiconductor space. I was, as you can see my levels here, I was selling call spreads before on SanDisk, made very nice profits on there, but I'm not touching this at the moment. As you can see, the GEX also is all over the place. It's going to update soon. All right, you can see that we are right at the put wall for the next 4 expirations. And this was a suggestion basically from the community to just add expirations here, make it slightly more easier to navigate. If you want to see, if you like net gamma, you can just switch here and it's instantly going to show you that this is both the biggest put wall and the most negative gamma point. So we could see a bounce here. If you like SanDisk, I would do the same thing as with Nike. Basically, I would just buy some lotto calls for this gap fill and maybe do some very, very far out of the money cash secure puts. As you can see, we are coming out on the 200 daily moving average. It's gonna catch up right around this zone that also has a lot of demand. So if I was looking at SanDisk, I would probably look at this zone. All right, so another interesting thing, let me just check if there's any questions in the chat. Another interesting thing here is, and good news, we have updated QuantWheel with an MCP server. So if I'm trading SanDisk, I can just ask Claude or whatever tool you like, Codex or whatever AI you have, Perplexity. As you can see here in my plugins, or sorry, connectors, I do have QuantWheel enabled, and I can tell him to analyze. I like this prompt. I just will tell him to analyze SanDisk for 3 upcoming expirations and suggest best options trades. So we'll see what Fable says. It's an amazing model, and while that's running, we can go through more of the tickers. So let's take a look at some of the watch lists. Korean market, this looks very, very bearish to me. I did hold puts and I sold them for profits multiple times with multiple exits and re-entries. I think this flip point is probably slightly wrong. But yeah, we'll fix it. Korean market is very interesting. If you can find good puts, I would probably buy them. This time, as you can see, there's still a lot of downward pressure, huge put concentration as well. Sometimes on the big down days, it's not the best to buy puts, but hey. Then ARM, another very interesting stock. We had a great entry here with a break of structure and a gap up. This is usually a very good sign of bullishness, but since then we have a bearish trend. So CBRS, this is a stock I like a lot because of their technology. I think they're a very, very good contender to NVIDIA, for example. And yeah, at these levels, I'm selling cash secure puts when it drops like this. I did sell cash secure puts here in this past week, and on the rally I closed them. So I'm thinking to re-enter now. It's hard to say what level to take here, so I just usually ask QuantWheel to find me the levels for cash secure puts on stocks that there's literally no support here. You could draw some levels to find potential support, but that's very difficult. You could do some Fibonacci, like a reverse Fibonacci, for example. But as you can see, this just doesn't make sense in the price discovery mode. I think it's just a good company, and probably around 80 level might be an interesting thing. You can also ask AI to calculate you the best or the fair value of the stock. That's one interesting thing. And then use that as your cash you could put target. This QuantWheel can also help you do that. Interestingly, I think we've seen some rotation into the dividend stocks. As you can see, all of these three are green today, and they have nice dividends. If you're playing this one, for example, Wingstop, okay, I just saw this, and it's screaming to me, bear flag, call wall hit around flip point, flip. I would buy some short-term swing puts on Wing for today. So we just found another possibility. In the meantime, let's see what Claude is saying for SanDisk. It connected to QuantWheel and got all the data that it couldn't have gotten on its own, and suggested some of the potential ideas for trades. This is not a financial advice. Nothing in this video is a financial advice, but it's providing you ideas. And I think ideas sometimes are very, very useful to just learn as a first step, and then second step, sometimes I just don't think about, for example, iron condors here, and probably good to not do iron condors here, because it has zero dealer support below spot. A break of 1450 has open air to downside fall. So yeah, I think that, as we mentioned, some lotto calls. Sorry, this is put debit spread. Oh, I see. So it seems like the GEX is telling us this is highly bearish, and it has more downside potential. I think. Okay, there's some earnings as well here that fall into the July time zone, but interesting analysis. It's different than what I would have read just from the chart in SanDisk, as we saw. So I was thinking probably we can do some lot of calls short term to fill the gap, but it seems like dealer positioning is saying there is potentially further downside if 1450 breaks. That's an interesting insight. Right, let me quickly see if we have any questions in the chat. And if you do see this video later, please don't hesitate to reach to us in Discord. I think we've had a bunch of great suggestions there as well. Okay, what else is new in QuantWheel? If you haven't seen so far, let me share the QuantWheel screen. All right, stop sharing this one. We should share this screen right here. These are my positions, and as you can see here in one screen, we've summarized everything you need to know about your wheel setups. It basically has every single wheel I currently own, including leaps, and with one click it can find me the best covered calls, for example, to sell. It understands my cost basis from all the premiums I've previously collected, and the price of, for example, leap. If I was to get to that price point, it understands basically my break even or cost basis, however you want to call it. And then it will only consider calls above that break point, break even. So it found that if I sell this covered call at 99, which is above my break-even point of 97, I could be making 1.6% yield weekly. And if I get a sign, it's above my cost basis. So that's a good deal. I think I might do this right after this call. And then it sorts it sorts all of your deals by potential action having a potential to earn extra cash. So, for example, Hesai, an amazing company that has a monopoly on LiDAR and has been severely beaten down. It's on my cost basis of $10, and it says I could just close it for $409 profit. So let me just explain to you why this is very, very useful. I know that I've been rolling this, and initially I've collected $530 in premium, but then I rolled it, and in the roll process, you need to calculate like what's your break even. Are you currently, just because you see green right now on this contract doesn't mean you are green overall. So this will tell you in simple words, you've collected this amount of premium, this is your break even for like a stock price, and also for the current cash secure puts, this is your overall break even. So considering the whole wheel and all the premium you've collected, at this price point, you are in the profit for this contract. So if you were to close the current contract at 1.86, that is going to break even for you for the whole wheel. So right now it's saying that the contract is at 1.68, meaning we are overall profitable. So as you can see here, I saw the cash secure puts, it's continued going down. So I rolled for further expiration. As you can see, this is now in February 2027. So I never know, like, I know February 27 is a big roll, so am I in the profit or not? This is actually telling me, yes, I can close my Hesai cash secure put. I like the stock, so I will consider keeping it. But as you guys know, I'm in the process of cleaning up my positions and getting more into the day trading using GEX and flows. Right, so next we have a bunch of other stuff you can do here. Let me just explain to you as well. Yes, you get a free journal as well in the same screen. Basically everything you need to know to see, hey, am I collecting enough premium? You can see your performance in the chart view as well for the month or for previous months. Okay, this month has not been the best for me, but if I go, I don't know, 30 days, I think that shows a better picture for 30 days P&L. If I have some cash to deploy for more cash secure puts, we can go to my screener. This is my watch list currently, and seems like rare earths have a good deal at the moment. So yeah, without looking at QuantWheel, I would probably not have seen this. And we are right about this put wall, a huge put wall, a spike in the premium for some reason. This could be interpreted as some potential, having some potential for head and shoulders, but also could be some kind of a falling wedge, just by quickly scanning through this. In general, on the watch list is things I genuinely like, so I wouldn't mind owning these shares. And yeah, I like this play. I think I will take a look at rare earths as well. Anything that has a green rating in my watch list, I usually just try to consider. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen, but you can also just now have presets here for analyze risk with AI to tell you about the news and everything affecting it, but also you can analyze GEX and just tell AI to analyze this specific stock, a specific option for you. So let's see what does AI think about this cash secure put trade. Solid low risk income trade for a 4-day hold, selling into a structural support, the put wall, and meaningful premium for a very short duration. So yeah, I think it's exactly what we've thought. This might be a good play as well. I think QBTS Iron has a huge volatility right now, and I personally like that. Similar story here. Again, huge put wall, jump in a premium. That's why it's highly ranked in QuantWheel. That takes into consideration all these factors when grading potential cash seeker puts. Yeah, moreover, you can just ask AI anything about what you see in this screen. You can even like go to a rolling section and just ask it, should I roll any of these options? Okay, it even has a preset. It's gonna see basically everything you see in this screen, and then yeah, give you some suggestions. I think I noticed PayPal going up, and I have a bunch of uncovered shares and leaps. So later after this call, I'll go into my covered calls tab and find the good deals for my covered for PayPal. Yeah, once this gets analyzed, we can actually go through this on this call. All right, this is a good one. I need to do this as well. I saw Realty Income. So basically, the play there was dividend capture. I've bought the shares right before the ex-dividend day and sold in the money covered calls. This is called a buy right. So basically, I was getting the shares for a very lower, for much lower cost basis because I sold a covered call that's in the money. Obviously, it's gonna give me more premium, but also it's gonna still allow me to hold shares before the ex-dividend. So there's a whole video on my channel about this if you're interested, how I use it to generate income and get free dividends. Probably if you just search free dividends, Ivan or Ivan, you'll find it on YouTube. And yeah, I've ended up with this in the money cash seeker, a covered call, and the stock has rallied since. I think it's in a good position, so I will consider rolling it, or if rolling doesn't give us a lot of, let's just find it. So it's in the money and it's a call. So all right, O is here. It's telling us it can only give me 1% annualized yield. So if that's true, I'll probably just let it get assigned, let it get called away. And yeah, not much here to do. As usual with this kind of dividend stocks and in the money covered calls. So I'm not too worried about this. I'll just let it assign and collect my full potential. I think this has been like a 2% yield per month play, which I'm very, very happy with for basically zero risk. Okay, next we've said it has a bunch of other stuff. I think exactly what I was looking at today in the morning. Nukes, great thing I've collected. I have collected great premiums on it, and I was thinking to roll it. So spot on. I think this will save you a ton of time just by using rolling screen. I think right now is one of my favorite screens. Sometimes I spend a few hours just playing with it and finding good rolls. All right. Yes, I've seen PayPal as having a good uptick today, and it's coming close to my cost basis. So I can see my wheel and see and remind myself, how did I enter this trade? So it seemed like I did have a covered call that expired or was closed, and then I can just find more calls to sell here for what it seems to be $348 per contract. So I think this is going to be a potentially good thing for me to do later. This is also 29% yearly yield at my cost basis. So basically, as we've seen, I have a bunch of BABA calls and cash secure puts. I think it's a very undervalued company at the moment, a great buy if you're not scared about the China trade. Yeah, my cost basis is 105 and the stock is currently 97, but it doesn't stop me from selling calls on at around 105 or above that. So yeah, 105 call is giving me 17% yearly annualized premium at the minimum. As you can see, there's more aggressive plays here with 31% at same strike price if I just add a bit of DTE. So I think I like this particular play of July, and this is 11 days. I can collect $100 or $115 for just one covered call on my leap. It's called a poor man covered call, if you want to learn more about that. All right, so this is kind of my not exactly daily workflow, but perhaps every other day. Why not daily? Because I've tried to systematize my wheel and I get these alerts and suggestions straight into my inbox and my Discord. So exactly what we've been talking about, we talked about Hesai and Nux calls. I get those notifications into my inbox because they match my alert settings. So you can modify them by many different filters. You can specify your custom role alerts to only get role alerts when they match your criteria, and so on. Another thing I want to just walk through today is, let's take a look at options flows. Let's see what's going on with SPY today and see if we can spot any trends. All right, let's see if there was anything interesting while we were in this call. So seems like SPY opened up with, this is all matching kind of the general direction. I'm usually looking for plays where flows paint a different picture than the price. So for example, this is a potential picture where we've had a huge outflows, but not such a huge drop in the price. Sometimes I look at this as a pendulum, and yeah, right now there's a slightly bigger gap than before on these two prices. This is all kind of relative. But if we see, for example, flows increasing and price staying around this level, I would consider some calls on. Obviously, this has to match with the GEX levels. So I sometimes just turn them on and see if there is some potentially put wall here that we've bounced from, and take my trades from there. We will have more, exactly, yeah. So you could have seen here flows having a big discrepancy from the price and seeing that we just are hitting the put wall. You could have bought some calls and made, what is this, from 745 to 760, 746.5. That would be a very nice, probably 100% trade just by looking at this particular screen. This is a huge edge. We are adding more tickers to this, so it's not just going to be SPY 0 DTE, but also QQQ, Gold, Russell, and a few of the most popular and liquid stocks like Nvidia and Meta, stocks that have basically 0 DTE or 123 DTE options. I think this is still an interesting play, but not such a good deal as it was when we just hit the put wall. All right, this is what the flows are telling us. So if you want this enabled and test it for us, let me know in Discord. Quickly checking if there's any comments. All right. Thanks, Film, for sharing this nice stream. Really appreciate it. I think we've had a lot of good ideas on this stream, a lot of good trades, and the goal is to show you how QuantWheel works in real time in the actual trading floor. I think that's basically it. If you have any questions, suggestions, yeah, let me know and let us know in the Discord. Thank you all.